So deep blue, this is the oil, and it's a combination of oils like peppermint, wintergreen, blue tansy oil, blue chamomile, and these have a fantastic effect. If you've got someone who has anything from a contusion to joint pain to inflammation, tendinitises, any of that, this is that thing that not only breaks the pain spasm cycle and our brain continuing to send, the brain gets the pain, then it sends more inflammation because we're getting this cycle, these cues, these texts to the brain to keep sending more inflammation. There's more, and there's more inflammation, therefore there's more pain, and on we go. This will break that, but not only that, unlike a Voltaren or a lot of our other subcutaneous rubs, you've got less of that. You don't have all the chemicals that you're absorbing into your body. So the beauty about the oil itself is that you could go and have someone put it in Epsom salts and put it through a bath. So you could soak in that deep blue. Or you could go and dilute it so it could be either less strong or more strong by deciding how much to dilute it. This is a deep blue rub. I do not travel anywhere without this. I have 15 years of a disc protrusion issue. You can try this on your neck, your knee, your elbow, any area that, and I'm sure you still feel your peppermint on your neck. Now imagine this for a patient who, or yourself.
That's what I use with I had tendinitis in my shoulder, and I use that, and I still go to the gym with weights now.
If you have a back or a neck or a knee or something that's there for you.
Yeah, it's really good for athletic joints. Very good for arthritis.
I would use less or more depending on. Oh, you do it?
Yeah.
You can put it in there.
But we won't watch it.
Smells like
I'll hide it.
It's a candy cane. Smells like
Knees, ankles, feet, necks.
What is that smell?
This is your joint.
It just smells
In there.
okay.
There's peppermint in there, but there's
Let's lift it up.
wintergreen smells a bit like root beer. That kind of like sweet minty.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon, oh.
Yeah.
Blue tansy, blue chamomile.
Peppermint. There's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
That one a lot.
So the next one we're going to go through, yeah, it's very, very effective. People who haven't had anything work before can feel some relief.
Crampy legs.
Totally.
Yeah.
There's another oil as well. It might be thyme, like for things like restless leg syndrome and that kind of thing. Like this for me, I have restless leg syndrome occasionally from training, and my deep blue is by my bed. It's also there for my back and shoulder, things like that. But there's another oil too for restless leg or cramping in the legs, and I think it was thyme. But you can even look that up. The next one's oregano. Don't touch this oil. It will burn your skin. It is very, very hot. It'll burn a wart off. So just, and you'll notice if you've used oregano before, it is stronger than what you've used in, because it is pure, it's not diluted. Now keep in mind that if I use something like oregano to cook with, I'm not even using a full drop. I would need a pot like this for a full drop. If I'm using a pot like this of sauce or quinoa, I would dip the toothpick and then stir it around instead of putting a full drop. That would ruin the dish. But if I had a pot like this, a full drop would be perfect. With other oils like lemons or lemon oil or wild orange, citruses, I might use 3 or 4 drops. But it's fantastic in cooking, especially when you're finding that the fresh herbs are they're not in season. They're really wilty. They're really yucky. So that's oregano. And we're going to go through one more oil, and that is what's referred to as the king of oils. This is a fantastic oil and researched a ton for things like cancers because of its ability to deal with cells and rejuvenating cells, and even the cells that are, I can't remember the correct term, but it's basically when cells are near death, and it's more efficient when they are turned off and done, kind of thing. There's a name for that, but this is frankincense, and it's a fantastic oil. If all else fails and you don't know what to use, again, lavender or frankincense, but this one being the more powerful, especially for healing. So this is a fantastic oil.
For depression, or you can actually put a drop on your tongue, put you in a better space.
It's a very grounding oil for migraines, for headaches, for all sorts of things. It is very, very good oil. It is also
Can
a
I just
very...
tell a story about the frame?
Yeah, go ahead.
I work for a plastic surgeon, and we sell all sorts of miracle creams and things like that out of our office. And he actually said to me the other day, he said, this one is just like your frankincense. And I said, I know, it's an amazing oil. And so what I do is every morning and every night, I use just a very mild lotion, Dormer 211. It's the mildest lotion you can get from Shoppers. Put a little bit on my hand, 1 drop of Frank, put it all over my face and neck, and I do it every morning and every night without failure. And I do smell like church. My husband always says I smell like church because it's very churchy. But
It's kind of a buzzkill, isn't it?
I love it. I don't care. I don't care.
You know what? There's a blend that they have. It's called Immortelle, and it has rose and frankincense, and it's especially for that, like fine lines, dry skin, blemishes, things like that. And I put this on at night occasionally. And my husband is always like, ooh, what are you wearing? I'm like, no, it's my face stuff. Like, you know, and he's like, oh, I like that. That smells good. I'm like, anyway, yeah.
So a lot of these oils, you know, if you don't want to fiddle around mixing it with a coconut oil or whatever, you can actually buy these are from Purdy Natural. You know, everybody know where that is? Just a little store on Warrencliffe behind Cowboys. And you can actually buy these, and they come with a little roller for like $1.75. And you put your pure oil in the bottom, then fill it with your fractionated coconut oil or olive oil or whatever oil you're going to use as a carrier. And then it's especially for like peppermint. I keep it in my purse, so while I'm driving or anything, you can whip it out and you just roll it on.
Or
So
a
you don't
headache
have
or a
to be
wake
mucking
up
around using your fractionated coconut oil. Or I do it at home. I have it beside my bed with my lavender in it, and every night, bottoms of my feet.
So that really works for sleeping?
Oh yeah.
It was the first thing that worked for, it's the first
So
thing
you
I
can
tried,
DIY
and I was
a lot of
not,
the
I mean, I haven't
oils.
told many of my
The
personal
Almond
stories
Guard.
other than the croup one, but
I have that.
that
in
was the
roller
first
as
thing
well,
for me.
'cause
I
put
was
it on
a-
the bottoms of my feet.
I was the
if I'm
primary
feeling
breadwinner
funky.
trying
Or I
to
sit
run a
it back
gym. I had a brand new
down in the
baby,
shop
and I
box.
would fall
But,
into bed exhausted and
sometimes
then
rather
not be
than
able to
fiddle
sleep.
with
And my
oil
mind was just a running, and
It's just better
it was one of the
DIY.
first things that
And
made a
if you
difference when I
DIY,
sleep
you
was
put 20
lavender.
drops
So
of
I like
oil
it,
in the bottom.
like you
And
notice a
fill
difference.
that up, and that'll last you
Like you use it.
I'm a
for
techie
a long,
geek because
long
I'm a
time.
strength coach and an exercise
It's
physiologist,
handy.
so
Yeah.
I have the data
Especially for
from my
the
sleep.
peppermint.
I know how much deep sleep I have. I know how much light, I know how much I woke up. So, I mean, for me, it was, numbers don't lie. For me, numbers don't lie. They don't tell the whole story either. However, I had the data behind it. Like, I'm a skeptic. I'm not a, you know, I
Well,
wasn't
you know how
a
you feel.
circumstance, you know, it wasn't this kind of placebo effect, yada, yada. But here's the other thing to take into consideration. A lot of people, everybody has different chemistry. So you know that a pharmaceutical may work this way on one person, the other person has side effects. It's the same thing with oils. So for instance, for someone's sleep, we're number one always gonna recommend lavender because that's what works for the majority of people. But there's gonna be the person or two who doesn't have success with lavender, and for whatever reason, their chemistry. So then we go, okay, well maybe you're gonna try cedarwood, or you're gonna try some frankincense or vetiver or something like that. So everybody's chemistry is different, and that's why, you know, when you see one of the textbooks, there are so many options of things to start to work with to try for a given ailment, and it makes a huge difference. Mel was mentioning the DIY. Some people don't DIY, they want it pre-prepared for themselves, and doTerra also makes diluted versions in the roller bottle. So this is the oil diluted with fractionated coconut oil in a roller bottle that you can travel with or use yourself. I don't travel without the oils. I'm gonna try and be very sensitive to your time here. We've gone through a super fast kind of oils 101. You can get really deep into other specific classes, like for mums and babies, or for sleep or emotion, or you know, all kinds of things like that. But we're gonna stick it with this 101 today. I'm gonna finish up with, if someone does want to purchase oils, there's basically 3 ways to do so. Number 1 is retail, and we typically don't sell retail because it's the most expensive way to go, and we don't want people to go that way typically. The second way is wholesale, and in wholesale, what you do is basically buy a wholesale membership, which in Canada costs $42 Canadian or US, $35 US. That gets you a year, kind of like a Costco membership, of 25% off of anything you purchase. There's a third way to purchase, and that's below wholesale, which I can tell you about at another time. It'll just be time sensitive right now. What I'm going to point to in your folder is the cool thing about the wholesale and the sheets that you have. If somebody wanted a wholesale membership and to get whatever oils at wholesale price, 25% off, that's great. But what's even better is that what doTerra has done is put together kits. So not only do you get a bundled group of things like the top 10 oils we just talked about, but they include the wholesale membership in with that kit. So not only do you pay less than you would have if you'd purchased them all separately, but they've included that $42 wholesale membership. So you could, if you wanted something else a month later or whatever, you get the wholesale membership as well. So that's the super cool thing about the kits. I'm going to point to 3 of them that are typically very helpful to know about. The first one I would call kind of a starter kit, and it's the Essential Collection with beadlets. And basically you get this kit, and these are 5 ml bottles. These bottles have about 80 drops of oil in them, 5 milliliters. You get the 10 oils that we went through. The reason, and there's a lot more oils than what we went through, but the reason those are so pertinent is because they're the easiest for people to start with, that have the biggest bang in replacing their medicine cabinet or replacing their cleaning products or really having an impact on their lives. And can you pull out the beadlets in there so they can see the beadlets?
Yeah.
So there's that. So we would consider that a starter kit. It's really cost effective. There's those 10 oils. The next kit, which most people start with, is called the Home Essentials Kit. And that is right down here in this bottom corner.
It's the same oils.
It's the exact same ones, but the cool thing is that they're in 15 ml bottles, so
Which
3
is that
times.
size.
Yeah, so
250 drops
in there,
as
and
opposed to 80 drops.
but you also get the
And you get the
diffuser
diffuser
with it.
with it.
But you're not paying 3 times the price. So that's one of the best overall deals, and that's what most people kind of start with. The third kit I'm going to point you to is called a Natural Solutions Kit, and it's on the 2nd page. And this is for or Natural Family Wellness. This is for the person who knows that they want to make some steps that are more natural overall in more places than just starting with the oils, like their shampoo, or like, because there's some other products in there, like their cleaning solutions. The fractionated coconut oil is in there too. There's some toothpaste in there as well. It's things like that, so they know they want to make a broader sweep with it. And you get a little more bang for your buck, because you see you're saving over $160 Canadian because more is bundled in there. So there's more kits there that might appeal to you, but I just wanted to point to those 3 so that you've got kind of an idea of what they encompass. The other thing we want to do today, if you are interested in the kits, there's an order form at the back of your sheet, but this is something that's in there too. We really want to make sure somebody wins a little oil today. So we've got, what do we have for a draw?
I have big buck 15 ml of wild orange.
Which is one of my
Yeah,
favorite
I
oils.
have a peppermint roller, which has already got the fractionated coconut oil. It's just ready to go.
So fill this out. We're going to do 2 draws and fill this out, and we'll do those draws for the peppermint and for the wild orange, and then we can answer your specific questions and go from there. Personally, in a clinical space like this, you have the opportunity to sell retail. We can do that in Canada. That's absolutely approved. I chose to sell retail at my gym, but what I found is that I wanted to make sure that people understood and were educated like this. So what I did is I displayed my oils, And then if someone was interested in an oil, I said, yes, you can purchase that. I don't want you to purchase it retail because that's the most expensive way. And then I said, I also want you to learn more about how you use them properly. And then I would basically either do a little one-on-one and teach them a class, or have them organize something with a couple of their friends or their family members or that kind of thing. Because I felt very strongly that I wanted them educated. That's something that you're more than welcome to do here. And if you don't want to do the education, we're here to do that for you. If you feel like this is something that really draws your heart because you feel like serving people, you're really drawn to natural products and health and wellness, then we can speak about that at another time. Okay, so right now we want to answer your individual questions and collect your slips so we can do your draw, and then we'll just wrap up.